was. When it hit 80, everything, all the vibrations stopped and everything. It's just cop stopped. He stops me. He said, and he's a young white dude from Pennsylvania. He stopped me. He said, "You know why I stopped you?" I said, "Yeah, man. I'm cruising my ass off. Man. I'm just trying to get home. You know what I'm saying?" I said, "Yeah, I know why you stopped me. I didn't get a ticket. He did not give me a ticket. You know, a matter of fact, I got stopped by a couple of cops. Just, hey, here's my stuff. Here's this. I can't remember the last time they gave me a ticket. Now I got to go on the road tomorrow. And I'll watch me get on this shit."
Hey, real
I mean, you got to just get out of the situation.
Yeah,
right. If you ain't driving dirty, and you know you're not driving dirty, well, just give them what they want, man. That's what
I got something that is crazy, right? And I've gotten tickets from Chicago to Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana. I've traveled all these highways driving, right?
Yeah.
And I've only gotten one ticket, right? And that was by a black man, a black police, when I was in the military over in Killeen, Texas. He wrote me a $50 ticket. And look, in the car, I had me a little side piece, you know, I'm in the military. I had just got in the car. I cracked open my 40.
God,
and soon as but we was rolling, and the thing, it's like somebody else was speeding, and the cop he just did a U-turn in the street, and he said I got in his way, but I was trying to get out the way. I'm like, oh, because I seen it, and he pulled up weird, and he wrote me a little ticket. Man, the chick was panicking. I said, we all right. Man, he ruined my whole night as far as getting the setup, but it still ended, you know, between me and her. It was just like, I got pulled over coming home before Christmas. I had my little piece in the car. They just pulled up on me like, "Man, what you got?" I said, "Man, I'm just trying to get home." "You got to go?" "Yeah, man. It's in the back, man. I'm just trying to get home, man." They let me go. That's the only time I really got a ticket, you know? So shut the hell up. Like I said, but again, this is baby mama culture lifestyle today. Everybody argue. They argue with everybody.
Damn, man, she's a married woman, though.
Those people don't really have major responsibilities.
She's a married woman, though.
Yeah, but she ain't really got no response. She's ready to blow everything because of her feelings.
You know, a lot of parents don't teach their kids how to actually, navigate. Like when you get pulled over by the cops, either whether you in a car or you in school, no matter where you are, they don't teach you how to talk to. Like my cousin, he was a cop, so like he taught us how to, like if they pull you over, you know, just be like, answer whatever questions they have. Don't be aggressive. If they ask for your ID, you know, just give them your ID. Don't, you don't got to go through all that back and forth or trying to, exhort their authority and all that. Just, comply. And I think that's where a lot of that comes from, is not respecting.
Her son was a level-headed one.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, her son was her son was saying, "Mom, what you doing?"
Right. Yeah, he said, "Calm down. Take the ticket and let's go."
Yeah, like that's crazy.
But it was a time when parents didn't really teach kids how to engage with the police. People understood the respect of the community in a sense. You know, it wasn't all of that. You know, I guess in the early, 2000s, in the 90s, once they split that dope on us. But, if you knew how to talk, then police didn't really bother you. You know, people act like sometimes they just act like police are just blind and they just make up shit. They always watch you. They watch niggas. They've been watching us. And if they see you do something shady, that's suspicion. Then if you know you're not, if I got my kids, you got your kids, your little slow grandkids, man. Listen, yes, code. That's the best time to code switch. What are we talking about? You code switch like a month. I'm sorry, Mr. Officer. Yes, you just picked up your little weed. Oh man, what you want with me? I'm like, man, you can't even smoke your weed now. You done blew the kids gonna be late for school. It's just get home, man. Shit.
Well, seeing I'm not from the crack era, when you said 40 ounce, were you speaking of water?
Yeah, 40 ounce of Kool-Aid. I drink 40 ounce of Kool-Aid, man.
Right. Okay, I just want to make sure.
With the red with the sugar.
Yeah,
is that OE or was that Mickey's?
Even with I wonder how the conversation went when she got home. We're gonna keep going and then move on.
Call your father right now. Step out of the car. I'm not. I'm not. I'll step out when another officer gets here. I'm not stepping out. I don't trust you. You're holding me too strong, and I don't trust you. You don't have to hold me like I'm not going anywhere. Where am I going to go? I'm not going to go. I'm not stepping out of the car. Call your colonel, and I will get out of the car. You're holding me. I'm not resisting arrest. I'm not. What am I under arrest for? What am I under arrest for? I didn't litter. You did that. No, I did not. You did that. You did that. It's all on camera. So when your colonel gets here, then I will step out. I have my child with me. I'm not getting out of the.
So what about that part where she claims that he littered first, and then she's like, no, well, you did that. Of course, the camera will roll back the sequence of events, but I've never been in a situation where, I refused a ticket to the point where I didn't even take it out of the officer's hand. But if an officer was to throw, or to just drop, let's not be dramatic. If he was just to drop the ticket in my car, that's
what he did, though, right? That's what he did, right?
It's a possession of yours, right?
No, but he dropped the ticket in her car, didn't he?
I guess I don't get
yeah.
If she doesn't take the ticket, does that not mean that she doesn't accept it and she don't have to acknowledge it?
She was being a petulant child, man. She knows if a cop is giving you a ticket, he's giving you a ticket. She refused to take it like she was a 5-year-old.
Right.
And this is true.
He didn't have to drop it on her lap. He could have put it on the dashboard.
Right.
If she would have took it off the dashboard and threw it out the window,
he could have gave it to her son too.
No. Yeah. He could have just put it on the dashboard.
He could have put it on the dashboard, and if she refuses it, the responsibility and consequences to that not showing up in court will be on her. Right. So, but that's why I say again, they both were at fault. They both got emotionally triggered, and that authority that police officers sometimes have to go through is sometimes abused, and that's kind of.
Yeah, but we're not in that situation, though, Sean. You're right, but we're not equivalent.
Yeah, you're right.
We are not equivalent. You're right that he could have handled it better, but if I'm the cop and you're the one who that has an infraction, we are not equals.
Again,
we're not.
And that's part. You're right, but that's part of why the abuse of authority is very questionable, because it's you often you're not equal, but then you don't act in a manner that you should as an officer. You can lead. You can. Your job is to de-escalate, not to increase the issues or the problems that are going on right there. And he's supposed to be able to see that.
Sean, I want all. This is why I hope they bring back the draft, so all dudes 18 and over can go be an MP. And when that soldier say no, you gonna shack him up and get him up through, and he can't call his mama, his uncle, his daddy. Duke, listen, she could have got away with the ticket, right? Because by him, like I already said, throwing it in her lap, they would have dismissed that out of court. They would have dropped that in court once. See, she went too far. Then an officer always going hold up. An officer always going to enforce his law on black folk. You running your mouth, then she even see. Here's what she messed up. She picked it up and threw it back out the window. So now she's just adding to the dumb stuff. Take your little ticket, talk to your son on the way home, show up, be like, I got it on video. You can watch his behavior. All right, dismiss. Let's go home.
You know what's funny? He probably wouldn't have even showed up at court.
Probably wouldn't.
And the thing is, the cops never like to be asked questions either. Like,
yes,
when you trying to just get some clarification, they like, just do what I say. Like, I mean, like, can you just tell me? That tells you they don't have any conflict resolution training. Like, if somebody just asking you, why am I getting pulled over? Or why are you pulling me out? You're pulling me out the car because I'm loitering? Like, let's be for real.
But they do have the training though. They just don't do it on. They just don't do it on black folk like they do it in the training. You got to be real about that. They just don't do it. Listen, they get the training. It's part of the requirement. It's just that there's an enforcement and there's a leniency. They'll talk to Miss White Lady, ma'am, could you sit down, please please take the. Then they'll go on about a bit and they'll give her a warning. Sister, your ass get the
you have a lot. You have a very
we can't
strong
just make
point.
this into a black thing, though, man. I mean,
And that's what I was gonna say. Without the race issue, go ahead.
I went to public school, so sometime I'm gonna look at it like that.
I've been around people in public school, okay? So
I'm
what
just
I'm
saying,
trying
man.
to say is this: it's not that we don't have a racial imbalance with us, but man, I can go on YouTube just like you can and find hundreds of cop stops of white folks, and those things ain't going well either. You know, so I'm just saying we need to. The lady was just nasty from the beginning.
Yeah, facts. Still.
You know,
No, I didn't see the beginning
that
of
we
the
saw
video.
just showing Precious is like an outgrowth. I mean, it like built on itself. And even if the cop was belligerent, and well, he was.
Well, he wasn't.
He was, but still, you know, I'm just saying, I'm the guy, I'm the person that now he's dragging her ass out the car. And we haven't even got to how vicious it started to look after a while. I don't even know if I didn't see that much. So I guess there's a whole lot more to it when he's pulling her and the sun is going crazy.
You're making a lot of great points.
Huh?
You're making a lot of great points, but part of where we get balance is by holding everyone accountable. And the problem is that officers don't ever get held accountable. Up until recently, now they're starting to, but the reason why there's so much friction is because it's unbalanced on the accountability. So you want somebody as a civilian to be held accountable for that behavior, but you don't enforce any accountability on an officer's behavior. And that's part of why it continues to increase. And we have these issues. We have these triggering
Sean,
moments.
In the moment, in the actual act of the moment, while he's at that car, ma'am, give me whatever, blah blah blah, giving the man stuff so I can get you up through. And understand, she could have went to court, and they would have threw it out. But again, you have to show some level of respect with your child. You ain't have your son was even being a mom. Go ahead and take the ticket, man, and get on up through. Now the officer, again, at some point they can do what he did. It's unfortunate they can do that, but when does he be a cop and when does she be civilian? You know, because
you're right, Coach. And my thing is, this is a woman, okay? She's not a bad. I'm just thinking, I'm a man and she's a woman. Like he's a man. I don't give he's white. If she would have just said the right things from the beginning, he might not even have gave her a ticket. She look at him, yes, officer, blah blah, give him the dimple and shit and all that kind of stuff. I mean, come on, he's still a man. And women used to know how to do shit like that. Right? I mean, I'm sitting down, you're a chick. Why are you even getting all upset? You little smile at him, say, hey, listen, officer, you know, I got my son in the car. He was talking about something, blah, blah, blah. The officer said, well, man, let me see your stuff. I just want to see your stuff and see, making sure you're not driving dirty. But here's your shit back. Okay, listen, next time.
You're absolutely right, Payne. One thing I'll say on a personal issue, I just had this happen recently where I was with someone. They were driving my car and got pulled over, right? And the officer, I was in two cars. I had two of the cars. Yeah. One was in one car and I was in the other car.
Sorry, big ball.
No, I'm just saying. So what happened was the car that they were in didn't have a registration and the license plate light was out unbeknownst to myself. So I happened to be behind the car, but what they didn't know and how I de-escalated it was because they didn't know that she had been traumatized in the past with an incident in Florida when she was a teenager and got beat up by an officer and arrested illegitimately. So that factored in. So I was able to share that with one of the officers while the other one was starting to really, the other officer and her was starting to escalate because she's like, oh, what, you gonna kill me now? And this, you know, she started to react in a matter of what was triggering her from her past. Mm-hmm. Now, I explained that to the officer that I was speaking to. I said, look, and I was on the phone with her in the back. And she was on the phone in the front. I was like, look, tell them I'm right behind them. I'm about to get out the car and I'm sitting there. So I started talking to the officer and he happened to be able to de-escalate the other officer while I was able to de-escalate her. But the reason why I shared the things that I shared earlier is because without understanding one another and so much unbalanced unfairness, these things will continue if we don't start addressing them for the root of why they are happening.
Well, y'all were very lucky in that situation. Did she still get the ticket because she was riding in the car that she was riding dirty, right?
Like Payne just said, that's what reminded me of it. It was no ticket whatsoever. I explained to them, it didn't have it didn't have the registration, but it was registered. It didn't pass a smog check, and I had the proof of that in the glove compartment. I explained that to him in the glove compartment. I have the proof. We just literally left the smog check not too long ago. That's why I have 2 cars here, because it's leaving from the smog check. And so he understood all that. He first tried to say, well, it's been unregistered for over a year. I said, no, brother, go look at your thing. Oh, he went and looked at it. He saw nothing was going on, and he gave grace to the circumstance after I explained it. But fortunately, I was there. But I also saw how it can escalate, similar to how this video has, pretty quickly. And if there isn't somebody there to kind of calm it down, you can have drastic outcomes.
Yeah, but it was going to escalate because the chick was going to get ready to go out of her mind.
Right. It's like you can't assume that all officers would know that about people. You know, something happened with her past. That's still a her thing, right? And don't be letting people drive dirty in your car, man. But no officer, if I get pulled over, no officer is going to assume that I've had some, traumatic issues with my life in the past. They just like, man, give me a damn registration. It's almost my get off time. I got right this last ticket. You violated, so let me go and get you this ticket. I'm just saying.
Okay, let's go.
You have a supervisor, okay? I am the supervisor. So when your supervisor gets here, then I will step out of the car. Call someone else to come here. There is someone else. Not right now. There is someone else. Let me call 911. Get your phone. Wait, please, sir.
She said, let me call 911.
Oh, that's what she said.
911 is there, girlfriend. He right there.
Stop, Mom. Wait, stop.
Yeah, he can't even put one woman out of the car.
Stop.
Oh, she kicking me.
Wait, please, stop.
Now, this is crazy right here.
Pressure.
This part right here is crazy.
That's her dash cam?
Yes, that's her dash cam, bro. Precious. Based off what you see, shouldn't that boy have the right to be traumatized by his mom?
Oh, of course.
Like, that's cruel, man. That's cruel.
I mean, I and the way that I, presume that it went or assume that it went is that, son, he was being rough. He shouldn't have been that rough. I hope that she took, some accountability in the situation to say, if you're getting it, I don't know what the initial ticket was for, but then he called her out for littering. So now that's a double offense, right? So it's like, what accountability are you taking to show your young Black son how to deal with policemen? And this is how a lot of young Black men become intimidated by policemen, because watching other people most of the time close to them and their family, their loved ones, get mistreated by authority. However, no one ever wants to talk about the accountability that the person in that situation should be taking when it's during that time that they're going through this. And it's simply take your ticket and be quiet. Like, go on about your business. You and your son can go.
Does he get around to the car? Does he actually get around to the car?
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
Stop, please, I'm scared.
He did.
Stop, please. Wait, please, stop, please, stop, please.
And
son said he was
I really
scared.
want to feel sorry for her, but I really want to feel sorry for her, but I really don't.
And
I really don't.
The unfortunate reality is, as much as I'm trying to show some of the behavior of the officer, I still don't agree with her behavior, and those are consequences for that behavior. And she got to learn consequences for her behavior, as well as I don't agree with his behavior, and he got to learn consequences for his. But her behavior, she's not gonna feel that she was wrong. she feels that she was violated. And to your point earlier, until she could take accountability of her wrongness and her behavior, we're gonna have this cycle of abuse continue, and it's an unfortunate reality.
I wonder what her husband is saying about all this. I mean,
Did y'all
of
hear
course,
that?
he's on
That's why I
her.
asked her
You're
that
muted. You're
question.
muted.
You know,
Did
if
y'all
this
hear the
was
son?
right,
though?
if
Yeah.
this was your wife, you know, what would be your response once she gets home? You know, after getting, I don't know if the son ever even really contacted the dad. If the most he probably did was maybe send a text message, because he was sitting there in live and living color watching the whole thing go down. I mean, he probably didn't want to take his eyes off of what was going on, because his mom is in this altercation with a cop.
Well, but I'm saying afterwards, like you're looking at this video, I would assume her husband by now saw this whole video.
Of
Yeah.
course.
And I wonder what I wonder what's going to. First, of course, he's going to, be passionate about his wife being thrown to the ground, like he should be.
Mhm.
But I wonder if he'll have enough balls to tell her, why the hell are you arguing with this guy in the first place? That's where men fall short. That's where I would think, listen, I'd put all the band-aids on my wife's cuts and shit and all that for she's all scraped. I said, "What, you think you're a gangster? Where is this shit coming from?" I mean, where is that coming from? And listen, I'm on your side. I'm gonna be there in court with my little suit on and shit and stuff to try to get you off. But I'm gonna ask you, what the hell went through your mind with my son in the car arguing with the cop like that? She would have to still answer. She could say anything she wants to me, but she would still have to answer that question.
Or like have him play that back for her and be like,
There you go.
Where did you go wrong? Why were you in this, state of mind when you got pulled over? What during this day, like what happened where you got so aggressive and so basically like an out of body experience, really?
That's true.
Like, why are you being so aggressive towards somebody where they can take you down at any moment? Like that's just silly.
But see, I think y'all underestimated this video. Did y'all hear her son?
No, I heard her son.
Hold on, no. Did you hear him say that he was scared?
Okay.
He said, "Mama, I'm scared." So the fact that
she didn't hear that.
But the fact that you so
that emotion.
You think she's scared of more than the cop?
Yes, the way she was acting. Oh, yeah. Listen, Sean, I agree with you in a sense, right? It's over aggression, right? Because it also goes to the trauma and the history of how they snatch a nigga up when they ready to get you up through. So the fact that she would do that, and you see the other, and see, this is white boys. He didn't get tough till the other cop showed up. He was talking at first. I got backup. So now he climbed in the car. He was on top of her like a wrestler. That says a lot. And the fact that sometimes, man, just get your ass home, get your son. He got McDonald's and shit. He need to take a bath. Man, yeah, what I do, officer? I'm in here. Listen, I'm in here cussing this little ass out. He fucked up in school today. I'm sorry. I lost. I wasn't even. All right, man. Boy, get your ass together, man. Yeah, y'all go ahead.
That little concept of thinking on your toes real fast is critical, because like you said, she could be like, "Oh, officer, I'm sorry, I was having a bad day," and whatever the case, whatever lie she could come up with, right? Like, so and then the officer might feel, he might feel he might be a little compassionate to it and be like, "All right, ma'am, I'll let you slide, or I'm just gonna give you like a smaller citation, whatever." Instead of her trying to be like a WWE wrestler, and he done took her down, he done grabbed her by the neck,
she got
pulled her by the legs,
got thrown on the ground.
Those
are really wrestling moves, like coming in, like make sure she tucked, like you know what I mean, like it was intense.
I'm saying. She was meeting his aggression, and he said, "I'm not going to lose this fight."
Yeah.
You know what's funny about the thing? I was laughing because I tried what y'all said. I tried after the circumstance to say, all right, things could have been different. And I tried to explain all of that. And the first answer was, oh, you're on that side? I said, you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone.
So who did you explain it to?
The girl.
Oh
The
man.
girl
No wonder the girl, she wasn't taking no accountability then. So yeah, she gonna put it on you. Oh, you against me. No.
Well, like I said, I tried to explain to her, how it was de-escalated. I explained to them. I had she had a traumatic experience in the time, which I shared with her. You could have shared that with them and say, hey, officer, just be mindful. I'm a little bit sensitive to this because blah, 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 blah. But the point that I'm making is that you said, couldn't you sit her down? I said, yeah, you can do all of that. If they're not really ready to face their trauma, it's going to be pointless.
So you've been on these YouTube streets, man. That's the same principle. A woman who has a bad boyfriend, every boyfriend after him is fucked up. Excuse my language.
Absolutely.
So I had a bad experience with a cop. Oh, I'm gonna have another one with this cop. This is the same thing they say about their boyfriend.
And that's Paul Ford.
2.5 years in Afghanistan, Iraq. I can't cross my legs because my hips are blown out.
Now this is in Jersey, okay?
Okay.
You see how they treating him though. He's 6'10".
He looks like he's from another planet. I was watching this like, mind you, that's his little car down there, that Corvette.
Yeah.
In the
ditch.
in the woods.
Better 6 combat tours. You understand? You can't cross the fence. You're not gonna fight me. You see
Look, I would be scared too. Authority where? I would be scared too.
You can't fight that. It's my world. You're talking to someone who has PTSD on 4 combat tours that will get special up on his side of the Green Berets who doubled their record.
This is crazy.
I'm fucking any weapon caches and save little kid being cut in half. Get the big car out of the ditch. Tow truck and me. You have nothing to do with this.
Yo, he pretty much like, get my car out of there and leave me alone. All right, I'm gonna walk
is
this
he
earth with no
barefoot?
shoes because
I didn't even recognize that.
Got no shoes on.
Yeah, man, that's their life, man.
this is like straight out of a movie.
No law enforcement issue.
This
Get out
kid
of
is
here. I will see the fuck out of all of you. Go.
Yo,
Is that a
everybody.
knife?
I don't want no smoke.
Stop it, Joel. You're stupid. Stop it, Joel. Your boys are doing it, not me. I'm tired of all this shit you're doing.
This gotta
Come
be
on, man.
Oh, look at the
I
other
built the
guy.
program. Yo.
Look at this. Don't he look like a monster?
Yeah, he's on drugs.
Look like one.
Yeah. Now I'm with
He
Coach. If he
is.
was black, he would be degenerate.
Come on, man.
Woo!
He's on drugs. That's all. He's on drugs.
Like the difference.
Yeah, but if he was a short, pudgy white guy, he'd be getting his ass kicked too, acting like that. I mean, this is a big dude. They know that if they get into it, they're going to have to shoot him. Now, the only thing I would say with Deshaun and the race bait guys, if he was a big black guy like that, he would have had like 8 holes in him by now.
I agree, and it's not a race bait; it's a reality. That's what we're dealing with right now, and it's an unfortunate reality. And this is why it's so unbalanced between. No, you're right. I mean, but it's at a. You're right. There's no. That is Steve Cole. That is Steve Austin. But the point is that it continues. It continues. This cycle continues because we don't really address all of the things that need to be addressed. The imbalance and the unfairness that is going on, and why people are reacting similar to that woman. Not that I do not whatsoever condone her behavior at all. But I understand where it can come from.
It's not a good enough excuse, though, man. I know that we have an imbalance with the law enforcement situation, but the vast majority of traffic stops, interracial shit don't end like that. They just don't.
True.
I mean, so I know what happens. But we're more likely to get our ass robbed going down O Street in Chicago.
That's not true. But okay, I hear what you said.
All right.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly because we're more likely if we get pulled over, especially as a black man.
That's
Old Street. I've been to black men. We've been to Old Street. We might get proper where you from type of thing, but it ain't like you going unless you have that victim mentality.
There you go, Sean.
Yeah,
victim mentality.
Yes. All right. Average man said, yes, R-Pain, take the ticket and move on. That was a missed opportunity for mom to show her son how to handle a traffic stop.
I think so.
I agree.
Mentally says if her emotions wasn't running wild, she could have simply picked up the ticket and gone about her business. It's outrageous. The officer is making a minor arrest.
That wasn't mine.
He also says the officer didn't have got me glitching over here. The officer didn't have to have been so forceful. Although she resisted being arrested, he already knows she isn't a threat, abusing his authority completely.
Oh,
Yes,
He
yes.
was trying to prove a point. That's all he was trying to do.
yeah.
In reality, the officers don't have our best interest in protecting and serving. They only protect and serve the oath they all uphold for the government.
I'm up under that government, so protect me.
And the funny thing is, that gentleman we just saw, he was speaking of, I have PTSD. I saw he was sharing with them what he had been through. And similar to you, Coach Ferg, you can share with them, I serve for this country, blah, blah, and those things matter. It gives you a bit of an edge. But if you don't have that, where do you go? What do you do?
Yeah, but the white boy was on some drugs.
So
He was on some drugs. But again, these things, see, the bad thing about it, right? Let's just say, like R-Pain said, they don't really inflict, what I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be a lot of instances today, but when they do it, it's loud. It's loud. It impacts everybody in the community, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? So I think, Sean, in that case, yeah, we have to sort of set a precedent. I think all brothers 35 and under join the damn police force, and we won't be taking each other. I'm just saying. But, it's just my solution in a sense for a future.
But the problem we have, Coach, is what you're saying is that if it bleeds, it leads, right? So if there was 1,000 great traffic stops where there's no incident at all, just the incident with this lady is the one they're going to show on TV.
Yeah.
And so
because
we
it's a
have
sister,
a tendency to say, like Sean is saying, we got to fix the whole world because one belligerent ass woman and a dumb cop got into an altercation, or the whole world screwed up.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's bad. It has been worse. But I'm just saying these incidents are not going to stop as long as somebody listen. If the cop would have said, "Hey, I'm giving you a ticket," and then he's going to say, "Matter of fact, the ticket ain't enough. Get your ass out of the car." And she wasn't said nothing, and she didn't say anything to him, but comply.
Yeah.
Then I would really be saying, "Whoa, what the hell's going on?"
Yeah.
But she didn't do that. We missed the beginning of this. She was horrible to this guy from the beginning.
Yeah.
And we kind of spoke about this last night, Leon, the power of social media. She knew that she was recording.
Yeah.
It's almost like, she wanted to, for lack of better words, put on a show.
Yep.
And, then use this show in her favor to see, look what he did to me. Again, not really taking responsibility or accountability for her actions and the role that she played in it too. So, if the camera wasn't rolling, would you have, went off the deep end like that, or would you have just taken your ticket and gone on? Some people just waiting for a reason.
She's the kind of woman. I think her husband is living a life of quiet desperation.
Oh,
man,
shit.
I think
that's hilarious.
I think you don't turn that kind of shit off. That guy's probably sitting home behind a cushion somewhere,
All right, what's she calling me
Glad-
about
Glad she's not there right
now?
now.
Is it now?
I believe y'all, Payne. I believe you. But
you know what's interesting? Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying.
Ahead,
listen, for everybody, right? You got some teenagers, right? I don't know. Everybody, if y'all got nieces and nephews, man, listen. Bring them over to the house this weekend. Put this video on from its entirety, and talk to their slow self and say, "Listen, don't be out here being disrespectful. When I let you use my car, you better be driving and come and do what you gotta do. If you with somebody, don't be acting like you're gonna fight him because it's gonna end bad." But I'm just saying, man, teach the baby.
I agree with that. I agree with that, but I think it would be a better solution if we get both parties in, law enforcement and the community, and discuss where it could have went better, where each of them had responsibility for it escalating to the point of where it did. And Precious, to your point a second ago, they feel like that camera and social media is their weapon against this stuff, and it's really not.
Yeah, like it's almost like we gonna jump you type of thing, even though you in the screen and I'm out here. Like, girl, get home safe to your family. Set a good example for your son. Control your emotions. You know, you're quick to anger, and you shouldn't be quick to anger. And like you said, that could be an issue. Definitely could be a huge possibility that's an issue in a relationship, because you're a danger to yourself and to our family when you're not next to me. And a lot of men don't want to feel like women are a danger to their family and to themselves when they're not next to them. They want to, be able to trust that you will have some tact about you, be able to represent the family well, and come back home safe. It's just not something that men would want to worry about. And it's not something that you should, you as a woman would want to she was being wrestled by that cop like she was a man. And although it was wrong for him to do those things, it seems like it never crossed her mind. Like, let me relax, let me just chill. Let me just take this ticket. Like, it never crossed her mind to do that. It was just, yeah, but you did it and you did it. You lit her first and you did it like exhausted. Hey, Jay, how are you?
Hey, what's up? Just had a conversation about this video, and she was willing to essentially sacrifice her son or herself to the internet gods. Because she was watching, the son was saying everything correctly. The son is wise beyond his years. Like, really, I hope other young men saw what the son did, and so many brothers were saying that the son should have crashed out. He was a punk. All these was weird shit. But when we talk about protect Black women, right? How do you protect a Black woman that you love who's operating like that without you being the sacrificial lamb? Is that what women say? Is that what women are really saying we have to be? They asked for protection. This young man offered the best protection he could outside of him getting himself shot. And what women have to understand is the programming that's from this, you being on the phone, and that caused the vibration of her showing off to the internet and the people watching, not listening to the son that was next to her. If our elders come through our children, then she's not listening to her elder who's trying to guide her and protect her.
Yeah, because I always say the blood don't lie. And the experiences that we go through, I'm pretty sure those before us who were here before we went through similar experiences. And we may react like them, we may respond like them, but somebody gotta break the generational curse, because at the end of the day, you don't want to find yourself 6 feet under behind the wall, not being able to see your children, now having to maybe talk to your phone through a glass, you just don't want.
We have a false sense of security, because we know what cops in the 80s without the body cams were way worse. And our elders told us how to behave with the cops was essentially get home safe. And this new generation thinks they're protected by the internet, and now they talk to the cops in a complete different veracity, and then wondering why they get these consequences.
Yeah. Well, we're going to move on to the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and definitely hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video so the algorithm know that we're having these conversations. On Wednesday night, we have the men's forum where the men give their perspectives, but anyone is invited up on the panel as long as you show some RESPCT. All right, let's get to the next video. We're talking about the biggest ick men have for women. You know, the men, you guys, you know, you suffer in silence at times. Excuse me. You suffer in silence sometimes. You know, you're not always heard and things of that nature. But according to this man, this is the biggest ick that men have. And then I have a video to support this very ick that he's talking about.
Is when a woman doesn't know what a man's transition time is. I don't know why this isn't taught in schools. By the way, I'm Taylor Love. I help explain the man brain. If you like that kind of stuff, hit the follow button. So we all know that men should be more attuned to a woman's cycle. We also all know that a woman's cycle is based on the moon, like 28 days, give or take. And the more a man knows about a woman's cycle, the more he can cater to her shifting hormonal experience and the types of support that she needs throughout the month, which is drastically different when she's on her bleed versus luteal phase versus
We might have to do, you know, a video on this, or maybe not, you know, but we can listen now.
ovulation. Well, men have cycles too. They're not attuned to the moon. They're tuned.
What? What did you say? What did you say? Yeah, I see you, Coach Bird. Shake your head. Men have cycles too, and they are attuned
to the sun. They're a 24-hour cycle, and his hormone, mainly testosterone, is going to go through the same flow every 24 hours, which means he's going to have highs and he's going to have lows. The support that he needs during his 24-hour cycle is different throughout the day. His transition time, as Alison Armstrong calls it, is of the utmost importance and pretty much completely ignored. Let me explain. So I want you to picture a man's testosterone being at its peak level first thing in the morning.
We know that's true.
That's when he's got his highest testosterone of the day. That's why he wants to get a little frisky in the morning, he wants to cuddle a little bit longer and harder. Well, throughout the day, his testosterone is going.
Sorry.
And brain, if you like that kind of stuff, hit the follow button. So we all it is of the utmost importance and pretty much completely ignored. Let me explain. So I want you to picture a man's testosterone being at its peak level first thing in the morning. That's when he's got his highest testosterone of the day. That's why he wants to get a little frisky in the morning, wants to cuddle a little bit longer and harder. Well, throughout the day, his testosterone is going to dwindle low at about 4 or 5 p.m. when he's done work. And you have to remember that it's his testosterone that's responsible for his desire to you, responsible for his
That's important, ladies. I hope y'all listening. I hope y'all out there watching.
clarity, his focus, his happiness. So if his testosterone is really low, chances are you're not going to get the best version of him. That's where transition time comes in. When a man comes home from work or just finishes his work, if he's working at home already, he's going to feel in need of about 30 to 60 minutes of what looks like recharge time.
30 to 60 minutes.
But in reality, he's taking his metaphorical armor off from battling the world all day, even if it's just via his laptop, putting that armor away and putting on a new set of clothes, which indicates
Put on them gray sweatpants.
that he's at peace, he's at rest, he can relax. And ladies, remember, men have 40% less synapses between the two sides of our brains than you do. Stuff, hit the follow button. Stuff, hit the
Synapse. What? The synapse. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Synapse.
Have about 30 to 60 minutes of what looks like recharge time, but in reality, he's taking his metaphorical armor off from battling the world all day, even if it's just via his laptop, putting that armor away and putting on a new set of clothes, which indicates that he's at peace, he's at rest, he can relax. And ladies, remember, men have 40% less synapses between the two sides of our brains than you do, which makes it harder for us to transition from one energy to the next. Yes, I am saying you have a more advanced brain.
He said it, not me.
So in this time, at his lowest testosterone level, the way that he could be supported most, typically by letting him watch some football, watching
Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
men combat boosts a man's testosterone. Letting him have a nap, scrolling on social media,
He said a nap.
watching some UFC, basically just giving him space so he can transition from one energy of the day into a new energy of the day and get a boost in testosterone.
Let him charge up, y'all. Let him charge up.
So that his desire for you grows, his attraction for you grows, his focus, his clarity, his ability to speak with you grows. And then you get a much better version of him than if you just met him at the door with a to-do list or a bunch of things that you wanted to offload on him from your day. Transition time supports both of you in a massive way. Let me know. Do you give a guy transition time? Let me know in the comments.
All All right, so before we get into that, because I know y'all ready. Before we get into that video, let's just watch this video. And hold on now, I think we got somebody in the back. Hola.
Yo, what's up, yo? What's good with it, family? How y'all doing?
What's up, brother, man? Sir FH.
Hey, man, I'm just chilling. Had to come show my love and appreciation.
Let me get you. You act like you done aged 16 years, boy.
Hey.
He's still looking. I think Frank will look, 21 forever. Like I just think he got that drink of life over there. I don't know where he hiding at.
The fountain of youth.
All right, so I wanted to play this video because it's literally a direct correlation to what this man was speaking about, and then I would like you guys to speak about it.
You're sick and worried.
Child, before we watch this, let me let y'all know that y'all gonna be irritated, okay? So I'm just giving fair warning before we watch the video.
And this man is sitting in this car. Really?
Yes,
really. Seriously?
Dead to the world. Don't know what's going on.
Why are you sleeping in the car? Why are you sleeping in the car?
I need some rest.
So why
Rest, okay? Not sleep, rest. They're two different things.
wouldn't you come inside?
Because I can't rest in there.
Is your life that terrible that you need
Girl, go back in the house.
to be in the car? Is your life like that difficult? Why don't you come inside? For an hour you've been out here?
Remember the men in the previous video said 30 minutes to an hour. Transition time.
You've been out here for an hour?
It looks like it.
Looks like it.
I just need to rest.
Do you want me to bring you something?
Peace and quiet.
Peace and quiet. It's priceless.
Come inside, baby.
No.
Come on.
No. Just close the door, please. Just close the door.
Look at her face. She's just so annoyed. Girl.
Am I high or is someone playing a saxophone?
Yeah, no, music came in right at the right time.
Yes, the music.
Such a drama.
Well, I'm gonna come and sit next to you.
Oh.
Did you just lock the door? Open the
Yes, girl. Go in the house.
door.
It's the saxophone.
Open the door.
Every
All right, now
move
y'all
from
can go in. Now y'all can go in.
Is she recording that? Who was recording?
Yeah, she was
okay.
recording herself going out there to wonder why he was taking an hour nap in the car because he wanted some rest. Well, don't all speak at once.
This is why I'm single.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, everything the first gentleman makes scientific, biological sense. Especially again, if we think about what we're supposed, like if we were out in nature the way without all this nature, again, it all makes sense what he said. But even in today's time, it also applies because as a bartender, I remember so many guys like, well, why aren't y'all going home after work? And they would say like, I have to recharge before I go home. And I never really understood that at first when I was bartending, like in my early 20s, and these older men were saying that. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, but I get it now as I've tried to have that sort of a relationship. And you do have to kind of get your joy from doing work. Like you've done the work, right? And you have to like get your joy back about life, and then you go home. And that's what I think a lot of these older men were doing. And that's why they were able to show up at home in a better way. But I think men of today, they're going from work straight to home and not getting those endorphins up again. And then so they come home to this checklist, all these things to do. And that's why I think a lot of men are finding so much stress in relationships these days.
I totally disagree. I totally disagree with that. I'm glad I learned this when I was young through my father, right? Because my father got home at 4:30, and the last thing we was going to do is be interrupting him. He would take his clothes off, and he would sit on the couch with his boxers on with the hole in the middle. Nobody bothered him. Nobody said anything, right? And I sort of do the same thing today, you know, and it allows, and I guess a lot of men haven't experienced it in a sense, but you're seeing how it's needed. And now they can identify what it is, because a lot of men, it takes some time to make those transitions, right? But if you're in a chaotic home, you come in, everybody got all the lights on, look like the building you worked at. The kids is running up all the electricity. Your girl on the phone making TikToks, and the food ain't ready, but everybody done ate but you. So it takes a time, but I'm glad to see men are sort of identifying it. That's a good thing for me. And sometimes women equate men today as being lonely. They're not lonely. They're just taking the time to be alone, because when they want to show up, they'll come out refreshed. And I think women, they doing it backwards. A man and men are self-correcting. So, but she don't even recognize, like, damn, what am I doing? What are we doing? How can we fix it in the house? But you went to, you so miserable? Yes, I'm miserable. That's what he should have said.
Coach,
and had the real conversation. Now shut up.
But you know, Coach, are you finished, Coach? You still got more?
Yeah, I'm done, man.
I could piggyback.
Where did we disagree, Coach?
Well, first of all, yeah, he didn't
okay,
what you want. Listen, I agree with what Coach said, because I mean, from the older crew, when I bought my house, 2 of the rooms in this place is just solely for me. And I told my wife, don't put nothing in there. This is for me. Like the office and my back man cave.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Those were my 2 places. When I came home from work, that's where I decompressed. No, I know this guy. I don't agree with his synapses bullshit. I need to see some goddamn medical evidence.
Oh, that's true. Look it up. That's true.
Oh, no, I know what a synapses is. I want to see whether the women have more, because the women seem, not you, Precious, of course, you're a soul woman. But the rest of the women, they need a lot to be desired in some of the choices they make. So I don't know how great they are up there, but I'm just saying. So I like what he was talking about. And as far as the second woman, I blame it on the guy for being so miserable without telling us to listen. It ain't just an hour. You're a pain in my ass. When I come home, just get the F out of my way for a little bit. And if he can't say that to her, then he's lost. You could sleep in your car and look like a wet puppy and all that kind of stuff. What about just telling her, listen, just shut up?
Yeah, for sure. Get these dumbass kids together.
Leave me alone. You know, I mean, I'm telling you, don't come in here.
What outcome do you think he would get if he did that, sir?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Well, it don't matter. If he'll never know.
It does matter.
It don't.
No,
It don't.
if he never does it, I know what it's going to get him. He's going to get him sleeping in a goddamn car.
Which is going to probably lead to, if he's trying to stay married, if he's trying to stay in a relationship, if he's trying to stay, then him doing that is going to be counterproductive to his goal, correct?
No. What? Not particularly. Now, I would listen to our pain on this.
Hold on, Sean. Like we can't talk at the same time, right? So both our pain and both Jay were talking, and then our pain was like, "Huh? What? I don't know."
Yeah, because I'm hearing you, Wash. What are you saying? If he never mentions to his wife this nag, what she's doing to him, how is it going to ever get better? I don't know.
He has to express that in a different way. He can't tell her to shut the fuck up.
No, get the hell out of here.
Look, well, not those exact words, though. Not those exact words. But our pain just saying it to as we on the panel. But in the real space, he has to have that conversation. He has to have that and not look. I'm gonna talk to my wife. We gonna come to an alignment, and then once we do, we go gather up these slow ass kids, sit y'all asses down. Now we go tell the story together, because I guarantee she's at home, the kids, mama, yeah, when your daddy get home, I'm gonna tell him, and we gonna do all that. He's already checked out in his mind. Now we know what happened when a man check out. Come on, he's already out. I'm listening.
Yeah, I think it's been going on for a long time. Like, that didn't just start. Like, he didn't set the precedence. Like, when they first started talking, he's like, look, I need an hour and a half to 2 hours, when I get off of work. Like, don't bother me.
But,
Do you think that men assume? Do you think that men assume that women know that, or like you guys are saying, is that something that has to be communicated? Because you're supposed to know your person. So, if a woman is observant, if she sees how you come up, like sometimes women do have to be observant, but is that something that a man has to say to a woman in order for it just not to happen?
She should already know it.
No,
if that's important to you, like
she should know men. She should have known her brother. She should have known her father. If she had been around men, she would already know this about men. But because there's no father in the house raising her like that, then that's why women don't know this about us.
No, I was with you for a second.
She had a father. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish your.
She had a father, right? Every woman who has a man, she has.
Not every woman has a father who like that.
Let me say what I gotta say, brother. I said when a woman has a man, every woman who has a man has to be molded to that particular man. If I don't, your father could have gave you some basics, but now you're my wife. I'm not your father. You got to know how I am. And even if you're like my wife is one of those women, kind of understood where I was coming from, but we still had the conversation. And my thing wasn't the whole thing because, I was one of the rare fools who really is one of those kind of guys who paid all the bills. And I had one thing I asked my wife to do, right? One thing, right, that I really needed. Football season. I'm going to go out to the sports bar, and every Sunday, and I used to say 17 weeks, but it really was just 17 days because it was just Sunday. I was going to the sports bar. I said, on this day, don't make no plans for me. Don't ask me to do nothing. That's my time off. And she understood. I said, the rest of the year, I'm your puppy dog, okay? But these days, and my daughter challenged me. I'm gonna say this real quick. She was 7 years older than her sister, right? And she was going somewhere. It was somewhere safe to the school. I said, you gotta take your sister with you. I'm gonna drop her off. She said, Dad, I want to be with my friends. So you give your sister a book so she can read, right? Or whatever. But you taking her with you. You love football more than me. Today I do. I said, today I do.
You knew what it was you stepped in here.
Today I do. This is my day. You taking her with you. And I won that argument. I'm just saying, if you're willing to do what you need to do with your wife, whether it's uncomfortable or not.
Yes, sir.
You can't assume it's going to fix itself. You just can't.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
You want to respond, Wash? You want to respond, Wash?
What's important to you? Like, you have to let them know. Like, look, okay, say for example, if you like basketball and you want to go watch basketball on Sundays after the football season, you gotta be like, look, I'm gonna be going somewhere to watch basketball. I'm gonna be going for 2-3 hours. That's my time. I need that time. And if you let her know at the beginning, and if she can handle it, okay. If she can't, you go find another one. Like, it's 10 more out there waiting, so like we guys are real easy to understand, but women make it so hard.
Well, there's reciprocation, by the way, Precious. There's reciprocation. There's something she wanted, I had to reciprocate for it. Like I said, when we conversated, I couldn't drop the F-bomb no matter what. No matter how well I thought it would fit right between the sentences, I couldn't say it. I couldn't say it. Or else my whole point was missed. I had to learn that.
Good point, because that is becoming self-aware of who you're in a relationship with, and knowing that could emotionally harm her after she has told you that type of communication just is not going to move her to do anything. We have to learn how to move the people that we're with, not force them to do what we want them to do. There's a way to do that, and there's definitely a way for women to do that for men, and for a man to do that for women. But like Arpain said, you have to know your person. dwell with them in knowledge. Knowledge means I'm learning you, I'm observing you, I'm taking notes, I'm retaining information and practicing what I say that I'm preaching. So, Sir Frank, did you want to go ahead and respond to this? Because I know that you were cut off a few times.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand what Wash is saying, but I mainly agree with coaching and our pain in the top of the panel. Like I can understand what you're saying as far as you saying, she should know, or like, she should know her man because she should know men, or whatever the case may be. I was thinking of it in the instance that she should know herself. Like when she get home from work, more than likely she wants a break for a second if she's a working woman, right? More than likely, if she's been at work for 8 hours, or she's been at work for, just say she a nurse, she at work for a 12-hour shift. When she get home, she wants to rest. She don't want to get home, have to take care of the kids, have to cook dinner at that time. Like that may come later, depending on what time that she works. Like if she work overnight, she'll have all day to sleep. She can wake up and do what she got to do, right? Because the kids will be gone, all of these things like that. But she still gets a chance to break and unwind, and all of those good things. Now, as a man, you want the same thing when you get home. Like you might want to take a little break, give me 20 minutes, let me just go home and wash work off me, let me get home and chill. Just the same thing. Like if the kids are, as soon as she get through the door, the kids are, hey, hold on, come here, let mama go upstairs and like get, and get herself together, and then we all can get some mommy time in. Like those are so that's why I was saying. But I get what you're saying, but I would take it as she should know the same thing that she would want after a long day at work. More than likely, your man wants. But I think that woman.
But see, I don't think women shut that part of their brain down. I think when women come home from work, they're still in overdrive mode and they don't rest. I think most women actually don't take that opportunity to recharge and regroup. I think most women, when they come home, their brains are so scattered, their brains are still that when they come home, they're still in go mode, and then they're mad that we are trying to recharge.
Hold on. A point.
Yeah, but he has a point. But if she has a man at home, this is why I was about to say, this is why more than one thing can be right?
Yes.
If she has a man at home, that man is going to be like, hey, kids, come here. Like, just like you would do, like if you have a wife, you're not going to be like, go overwhelm your mom right now. I know you might be the person to say, hey, babe, go shower, go relax for a second. And the kids is going to be here. Because sometimes I know that a mom will come home and be like, damn, like I ain't seen my kids all day. Like, let me just live on. No, listen, you got that. You're gonna be with your kids every day. Let me go. I can hold them for another 10 minutes. I can chill with them for another 10 minutes while you go upstairs, shower, unwind, take a bath, whatever you need to do to relax. Because after a while, you're gonna be overwhelmed, and then you're gonna end up.
Have y'all seen the videos of women that say, oh, and then when it's time to go to bed, he want to tap me on my shoulder to see if I want to give him some, and it just don't work like that. We're ovens and they're toasters or whatever the microwaves, whatever the comparison is, right?
Right.
That's because his testosterone has now risen back to a peak. That's why I like that part in the video, because if you understand what's physically going on with the man, just like we want men to physically understand what's going on with us when we're on our cycle, and when that friend come around that time of month, right? We want them to, cater to what our body is going through. It's the same thing with the man. And at that time, his testosterone, if he's rested and things like that, his testosterone is now at a certain level. I think that most women complain that, when they come in, because when I come in, I'm like, if I take my jacket off and I sit down, I don't know if dinner is gonna
that woman is asleep.
Like, you know what I mean? Just tired. Anybody know? If anyone knows me personally, if I've ever spoken to you, I get my rest. Like, I don't play about my rest. Don't wake me up about my sleep. I love my rest, right? So if I love my rest, I know that a man has to love his rest, and I know that there has to be times, and that's why women need.
So you want a poly relationship? You want a poly relationship with a man in your rest?
Come on.
So
George.
essentially, that's what you're saying. You want to open.
You just want a slave driver.
You know what's interesting?
You just take a time right over.
You know what's interesting, Jay? What you said is women are always active, or their minds are always active. That's by choice, and they need to learn to do better than that. And that's the problem. If you're going to continue to feed it and condone it, it will never get resolved. And that's part of why you have to have these discussions, so that you can help them from self-sabotaging.
That's why a lot of women go and say, "Oh well, I've been working and cleaning and doing this all day." Well, girl, get some rest.
And that's it.
You have to incorporate that into your own day. It's not just going to drop out the sky.
Facts.
You have to formulate that for yourself and for your household. Like, women don't understand that, especially a lot of women that are like, oh well, he doesn't pay me any mind, he works all the time, especially the stay-at-home moms, right? They're working, they're cleaning, and more power to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know you're doing what you got to do, but you also have to say, I need this time for rest for me, so I'm not going to complain about the job.
But one thing I was going to say, something real key though. Frank said this: sometimes if you're attuned to your wife, you got to remind her about the rest time.
Facts.
So that was the key, because I'm living it. My wife is still working. I'm retired.
Yo,
So
that's what.
home, huh?
Go ahead. Go. I was
Yeah,
say
so
that's
when
why
she comes home, right? She's still kind of moving around and this and that. She went on. My wife went on a girls' trip. Yeah. They were all 90 years old. I said, man, they went on this like retreat. I said, did the priest come in and rip his clothes off and shit? But so she comes home, right, from this retreat where she's supposed to be nice and cool and calm. And there was like maybe 2 dishes in the sink or something. She automatically goes in the kitchen and starts. I said, what are you doing?
Right.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Sit your ass down here. Let's talk. Say what's happening. You happy to see me and all that. I had to. But she's like that. Like, we have her birthday's coming up, so I'm taking her out. We're going somewhere, right? And I'm saying, I said, we've been married for 800 years, and I still got to take you somewhere to get your ass calmed down.
You're right.
I'm still spending money like you my girlfriend.
Yeah, salute to Miss Payne. Salute to Miss Payne. Go ahead.
Right.
I know I have to get her out of the house every so often, so she don't look at the 4 walls and think I got all this responsibility. I said, this is supposed to be your house. When I come home, I'm really relaxed. This is
right.
And a lot of times women face they want to be needed, especially mothers. They want to be needed, and you got to calm them down from that. You got to be like, yo, you are needed, but you don't have to always act as and be busy in every moment to make yourself feel needed.
And hey, Payne though, but this is why I was saying that too. Provision isn't just money. Like, sometimes provision is just looking out for your person, man. It's just, hey, look, you are doing way too much right now. Yo, you need to sit down somewhere, and that's okay. Look, go upstairs, watch your favorite show. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be down here. I'm gonna play my game. I'm gonna watch my show, or I'm gonna be on YouTube doing some shit. Look, go upstairs and just relax. That's a part of provision too. It's just getting her to be able to, and we all got to be able to reach that home, get back to that homeostasis level at some point in time. You got to be able to just recuperate, bro. And that's like, that was my main point. And then the last thing I have to say is that that's just a woman right there who also don't know that she's the problem. At least she's a part of the problem, because we don't know the whole story. It could be kids involved or whatever the case may be. It's a bunch of kids in the house. He don't get the rest when he get home. So I get that. But she's a part of the problem. Like, if you don't know that he's out there trying to get rest, now, okay, so I'm going to record, I'm going to have a camera, I'm going to make this a big spectacle. Yo, okay, now I want to get in the car. No, I'm out here, I'm chilling, because right now I need a little space, and I'm not out here cheating. I'm in the damn driveway. Let me relax for a second. And then I'm going to be in the house, and I'll be able to tend to you and the kids like I need to do, or I'll be able to tend to you. But sometimes it like our Payne was saying, if you tell her, hey, baby, yo, listen, mama, you just, sometimes you be nagging me too much when I come home from work. I did 8 hours, I did 10-hour shift, and I don't want to come home and clean the gutters right now. Like, let me do that on my day off. But she'll be like, you see the trash, you see the gutter, you see you ain't do the room when I told you. Like, look, baby, now I'm in my damn car relaxing, and you want to be all in my face. Like, you got to realize that's the woman right there who is not self-aware. She's just not self-aware, because if she was, she would be like, you know what, I'm gonna give him a minute, and if he's not in the house at 6:30, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna go get him. But no, she wanted to make that a scene and make it about herself rather than looking at her man in this car and being like, damn, like maybe he just need a break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we need provision gummies.
What watch?
We
I
need
agree with
provision
you.
gummies. Gummies, when the women come home, they gotta eat a gummy.
Eat that gummy.
It automatically.
No,
Yeah, we can sell them. We need
if you gotta give them a gummy, then
gummies.
you ain't give them enough to eat. If you gotta give them a gummy, you ain't give them enough to eat.
That's the solution.
But watch,
Women just
listen,
come
I
home and
agree
take
with
a
you on this,
gummy.
right? There has been a shift in the responsibility that women took on, right? Because again, there was never a time when my parents came home from work and we were just wild and loud. That goes to show the lack of teaching today, because it's a level of manhood is running behind the woman. Soon as this information, listen, we all date a woman that might have kids, right? I'm just saying, I meet you. I go over your house. It's loud as hell. 9 o'clock, 8:30, what the hell? And I decide to marry you, that shit's on me. Your shit already chaotic. Hey, I come home from work at 6, it's loud as hell. Man, shut that old. Did y'all see the movie Friday? Take that bullshit outside. We saw the example. Craig, bring your ass in here. When I'm laying at night, when we in that bed, you want some of this Johnson? Listen, goddammit. You better get these little slow ass kids quiet. And I need some rest when I come home. We gotta have a conversation. May not have to be old funk, but it's gonna be a time when she's gonna be wanting to get some. If you got to talk to her in the neck and hold her back, look, I need some goddamn sleep. But everybody's scared of the woman, man. I don't know, man, because it looked like she had big feet. So shit, you want to take our big ass shoes off and rest? So I need some rest.
They scared of women, like we're scared of police, but you don't need gummies. What you need is H2O.
That Johnson.
CBD water.
No, you just give her that. You just give her that. You just give her that act right.
Exactly.
You give her that act right. Let's lay her down.
Let me get some sleep. Don't make me a sandwich, goddamn it.
Yeah.
And put the kids to work. That's the problem with us today. Put them damn teenagers to work. Get outside, cut the grass, trim the hedges, climb up on the roof, clean all that shit. Because I'm glad my daddy wasn't paying bills and he had 6, 7 teenagers in the house. He wasn't doing shit but work and sleep. My daddy used to sleep all weekend. So come on, man, you don't be doing no work. You got kids that can pick up their little nasty drawers and toys and eat and shit. Put their ass to work. We ain't got the smartest kids no more. Kids a little slow. So if you can slow, you can work. You want some? You want some Jordans? Jordans are 200. I need at least 40 hours a week out of you. Bring me your A and B on the roll. And listen, A and B on the roll, your ass still cutting the grass. Come on, man. Oh, shut up.
Your daddy was a wise man.
We used
he had
to do
all
our
the kids
job
so that he could have free labor. I ain't mad.
Exactly. Put that little slow ass to work. He might become a lawn service down the road because his daddy. But it's a new age of parent. We soft as hell, man. Stop.
There's nothing wrong with putting children to work. There's nothing wrong with that. Back in the day, we used to do our yard in a neighbor's yard. It was just like, no, you're not done. Go ask a neighbor. Don't even go ask a neighbor. Just shovel their driveway. that was our responsibility, right? And nowadays that's not the case. Those things aren't enforced on children. But in her case, in this case, she would have even been okay if she came out and just said, "Hey, do you need anything?" No, just rest. Oh, okay, I'll leave you be. You know what I mean? And just went right back in the house. But I think that that's an important video that the man prior to the last video was speaking about, because I think that the time from departing from your significant other in the morning, and then when y'all are reunited again in the evening after work, after you have gone about your day in your own separate, workforces or whatever the case may be, and then you come back together, you would think it would be known that you need that time to recharge. But there are some women that just, want to live in their man's skin. And it's like, these women have to understand that you have your individuality. I was struggling with that
for
one.
sure. Somebody had a long day at work.
And vice versa, you're not going to be the same, and you're supposed to balance each other out. And that's where a lot of women will get those thoughts like, oh, he don't want to be around me. He don't like me no more. I'm not attractive to him anymore. Making up these stories in their mind because you're spending your time resting in the car. They will make up, we as women will make up a million stories. Oh, he's out there texting somebody, and he's literally, that man was knocked out. Okay. He woke up like, where am I? He was knocked out. It wasn't like he was sitting there mad or, trying to get some steam off. He literally was resting. And I think that, things, that's why I asked that question, is that something that has to be communicated, or is that something that you're just supposed to know? I grew up with a dad that was just like, let me rest. My mom would make his tray, water cup, you know what I mean? We bring it upstairs to my dad and he chilling. Like you said, R-Pain, Sundays, church in the game. Don't bother me. To go to your mother. Type of situation. So I grew up like that. And so, I saw that in practice. There are women who don't grow up like that. And it's just like, what you doing? Who you with? Who you texting? And it's just like, girl, I agree with you, Coach Ferg, where it's like, well, if you attach yourself to that, you need to know what you're getting into. Because now you have a woman that doesn't respect your space and your time to reset, not realizing how important it is for the relationship, not even just for you, for the relationship. And that's something that us women have to keep in mind. We want men to understand us. We then have to understand them, and that they go through cycles too.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I gotta go eat, but I wanted to come show my love. I wanted to come stop by, see the fam bam. You know what I'm saying? I'm hungry as hell right now, so I'm gonna go eat. But look, next week I'm off. I'm off. Nah. I bought some I bought me and my daughter some Chick-fil-A, man. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go grub, but I'm off next week. So I'm gonna definitely be on again.
Got it, brother.
Have a good
man.
Thank you.
You, bro.
Enjoy your Chick-fil-A.
Better eat healthy too.
Yeah, man. I made some salmon and sweet potatoes tought. Oh, so good. All right, so we're gonna get into this last video, and then we're gonna get up out of here. But this is a video of Clifton Powell. He's in a round table conversation with men, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this. This video circulating around social media, but he's in this conversation, and things get a little heated, and I just had questions, like a lot of questions, like
okay,
we're gonna play it.
Point where you have to decide, how do I want to live
there we go
my life. I haven't talked to my daddy in 6 years. I don't give a fuck about what my family has gone through. I know where I will go. So it's like, you can only say that for so long. Black women are tired. Have that upon yourself. Stop waiting for a woman to tell you what you need to do. Take that upon yourself.
Let me address that real quickly. For me, I didn't know fucking how to
Can
love.
I say one more thing? No, I have
Look,
to say this, because another thing that happens is, too, you live your life for so long, and I'm not meaning no disrespect by
It's
this.
all right. Just say it, bro.
But when you hit your 60s and your 70s, I want to be right.
Okay, but let me.
I want to live my life right. I want someone to take care of me and protect me, and that's what a lot of women.
this part just agitated me. Like, you can't hear people when you both trying to talk and then you trying to talk over him.
Because I'm living it right the fuck now.
As I said,
listen to
I
what
said
I'm saying.
60s
Let
and
me say-
70s.
Let me
And then you yelling at the elders. Okay.
say this.
Don't
bro.
overtalk
I'm
me.
gonna fucking overtalk you because you're talking out
But
of
you're
line,
not
nigga.
gonna
You
disrespect
don't know
me.
what the fuck.
Again, for the cameras. Okay, for the cameras in the room.
You
Oh,
talking
I
about.
am.
I just
I
learned
do.
how to love at 60,
I do.
bro. You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Learning how to love at 60 is we're gonna talk about it.
I do.
Because you can't
I
fix no
do.
shit.
I
You don't
do.
know it, nigga.
I
Get the fuck
do.
out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The fuck out of here. I'm living. You can't tell me what the fuck I'm living, nigga.
This is true.
I'm living it right now. You cannot fix no shit that you don't even know is happening.
I think there's a misunderstanding.
No, but you going. But he's
I think there's a misunderstanding.
He's general like you can't. No, listen, bro. Let me stop. This is what it is. Let's get to the truth of this shit. You can't fix no shit unless you meet somebody who is on another level.
Coach Berg,
Listen,
did you raise your
I
hand?
don't know if y'all saw this whole thing in this context, and I'm going to talk to you about YouTube, man, because I was trying to do a live on this just to speak to it. The two guys, the little Hispanic guy and the other guy, the black guy, the problem in this type of conversation, those men are boom. So you can't mix that energy and have those type of conversations with yeah. So it just makes it bad. And I'll say this: they would need a professional mediator to have a conversation like that. You can't just get men together and throw ideologies and say this. So a mediator could have been somebody that could sort of guide the conversation, but I do think that those things like that, because I've done this, and it will help over a period of time of getting familiar with each other, and we start to sharing our life experiences, and we may realize we have something similar, and we can discuss our differences, but also make sure that every one of us get the best solution to help us navigate through our conversations. But just wrong.
To help you elevate to understand. I'm not indicting anybody. I'm telling you what the shit is. You can't fix some shit that you don't know about, bro. You can't. And then you get there at 69 or 70 and say, I thought I was being loving all this time. That's what our parents have gone through, and that's why we're all so fucked up right now.
I think my question would be, how do you get to 60 and not know? There was a lot of back and forth, a lot of over talking, a lot of trying to enforce what everyone was saying.
What's the question again?
But how do you get to 60 and not know that you don't know what's going on with you?
Because he never had to. He never had to learn it. It's really not that complicated. Because this guy's been in, again, you're going to say something?
When you say he never had to learn it, what would, is it an attitude of men where it's,
no,
I'll learn it for who I feel like learning it for, or I'm going to learn this because it's an important part of my life and I need to get better.
Well, listen, what I'm saying is, let's not use the word men. Let's just talk about him. He's talking for himself. He's been in the limelight for pretty much his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So his life, he might not have had to learn those lessons like grounded people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And now that he's slowing down, he didn't get those jobs like he used to. Now he's got to be more interpersonal with people.
Yeah.
And he's learning he was missing something.
Yeah. And with himself, he's starting to see himself.
So the only thing I give him credit for is that now he's aware that he missed something in his whole life and he can't get it back.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least he can, live out his days, but he can't he's reflecting on all the shit that he could have done if he was a different man. And that's I think that's what he's trying to convey. And he's admitting that he has this hole in his life that's by his own doing, and then the gay boy is over here telling him, disrespecting him, and it's like a bridge too far, and that's it. The guy might have had his opinion, but the guy don't even like his own father. You know, and so I'm just trying to say, so Clifton he made his mistake in his life, and he's kind of bearing his soul to the people, and then he's got the zesty dude over there, you know, disrespecting. You know, and men don't usually bare their souls like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
credit.
you actually see this a lot with a lot of athletes. Like, you know, their whole life they've been told, you know, you this, you that, you know, and they get all the women all through high school, you know, then throughout their career. And then some of them, you know, they just play around with the women and they don't actually marry the people that they need to. And then, you know, like when they retire, you know, and they can't walk around, like a lot of these players can't barely walk up the stairs because, you know, how much their body have taken, especially in football. Like Jerome Bettis, I don't know if you guys ever seen that story where he could, like when they had Thursday night games, like he could barely get ready for the game because his knees was so damaged. He didn't know if he was going to play on Thursday nights. And that's an example of, you know, people, you know, like you said, in the limelight and just, you know, not taking care of what they need to.
Mm-hmm. Let me just say one more thing is, you know, I'm 67 and I think you guys are really much younger than me, but I think when you get to certain ages, your whole life is a reflection. You start thinking about shit, man. You know, that if I would have did, because here's one thing I could say about myself, because I'm where I'm at now, I probably made more good decisions than bad ones, but it's the ones that I haven't thought about that I wish I would have. You know, you don't have all the regrets, but you're reflected. Now I'm on YouTube and most people are younger than me. I'm seeing how people look and behave and talk and all this shit. I'm just going, well, how was I when I was that age? You know, what did I think about? You know, why did I let myself get so out of this and that? So I don't know. So I understand where Clifton was coming from. They needed to be, first of all, I would have kicked half the dudes off that table. The zesty guy wouldn't have been on the table.
It was two of them.
And the transvestite guy who was a woman.
Oh my God.
They got a woman. He was a woman.
See, they shouldn't even been there. That's what I said.
But what are you doing at a man's table?
Oh, Payne, you old. I mean, you how old?
67, man. Jesus.
Man, God bless you, brother.
I'll be 60 in 2 years, goddamn it, and believe me.
Yeah, man. It's a reflection, man. I look at my daughters and say, man, you know.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, all you can do is reflect because you damn sure can't go back.
No, that's it. I got more time to reflect.
Yeah, you know?
I got all that time there. I said, wow. But, you know, I've seen a lot of stuff, man. That's why when people talk, they say, you don't know nothing, right? I said, yeah, okay, you know. I said, I think I know a little bit more than a lot of people.
Ooh.
You know,
That is
especially
funny. Did you
if I'm
say
on the outside looking. Huh?
Did you say transvestite?
Yeah, that's what they are.
That's
right?
hilarious. You didn't say vest, huh? Transvestite. I'm gonna use it. That is classic. Transvestite.
I mean, that's what the person is, right? What do we call them now? What we call them? So, I'm saying, put me out my misery. What the fuck are we calling?
I'm come on, man. You serious?
Yeah.
You serious? Oh, that's funny. Tell him, Sean, man. Tell him, man. Tell him what it is, man.
Yeah, that is hilarious. No, it's from this point on, it's transvestite.
Come on, man. It's a me.
Wow, you just made up a new word. That's what age does for you. Like I said, God bless. I
said, dude, I didn't say zestite. But it came out that way.
Oh my God. Oh man, but you're right. I mean, you know, what can they really offer to that conversation? They can't really offer the the hands-on experience. Like you said, he doesn't even like his own father. So if he's not going to give his father the time of day, what makes you why are you so bold to give strangers out on the street, especially Clifton? Like what makes you so bold to, like, they got puff out their chest a couple of times or two to make you feel some type of way. But at the end of the day, his experience is his experience. And if he is understanding it at 60, 70, 80, whatever the case may be, at least he is coming to this self-awareness moment where it's just like, wow, I think I saw a clip of him saying that he'd been with the woman that is in his life now for about 10 years. And so that is a work in progress. And were they together consecutively for 10 years? I don't know. Did they have issues in their relationships? I'm pretty sure he's, well known, but at the end of the day, he's trying. And there are some men who don't come to that fruition where they, have to realize that they have to be better for themselves and those around them. They feel as though they can live in this world of ignorance. And, you do what I say, the world bows to my feet. Coming from the woman's perspective, though, I can understand when he says that, at this age now you're looking to be better. And all women are saying is, why is it taking that long? That's why I think I asked that question in the beginning, because it's like, when is this when you choose to do it and you realize that you have to be better, or is this, like you said, Arpain, like your reflective period where it's just like, maybe I really should get myself together? And I'm talking about grounded men. I'm not talking about the men that are in the limelight, because those are the rare, population that have that situation. But there are plenty of grounded men who get to a point where it's just like, they don't necessarily want the marriage. They don't want, the things that the women want, the women that want to be with them, right? I think that men should be with women who want to be with them. I don't think that you should go after women who don't want to be with you, right? So you have a woman that wants to be with you, and you feel as though, and of course, men can do what they want. We can't tell you what to do. But there are men who choose in their best interest of, this is how I am. Don't try and change me. I'm going to be who I am. And then they get to a certain age where it's just like, wow, well, maybe I shouldn't have made, the decision of telling this one that that's how I am, when I know that I have issues. Like, I remember dating a guy, and I'm put my personal life out there, but I remember dating him, and he's like, I know I have issues. he told me, like, I know my issues aren't fair to you. What does a woman do with that?
Well, you know what you did with it. Are you still with him?
You still with him?
Oh, okay. So you know what you did. You know what you did with it.
No, but I'm just saying, like, is that the advice that a man give to a woman, where it's just like the men who know that they have to change?
Let's finish the question. He said, I know I got issues. And so how would you deal with that as a woman? I mean, I guess the first question is, are you going to stay like that, or are you willing to change out of that? And if he's saying, this is just me, you got to accept it, now you have a choice to make, right? I'm not going to live with that. So that's how it is. I mean, I think we make it too complicated.
Right.
I mean, you have to make a choice. Like when a woman, like the guy told Clifton, we had something about women in general. Well, the fact that Clifton might have been a messed up guy, it's not that he was messed up to all women and that he wasn't the right way for women to accept. That's not, the women can't tell him how to be. If he's not for you, he's not for you.
Right.
Right. So putting the weight of what women desire on a guy like Clifton is not fair to him, even if he is messed up. Because obviously there might have been a woman or two who would live through that.
Right.
So when I'm listening to these guys talk, I just like now I look at women. If women want to be free, I think we should stop arguing with them. Be free, because they're going to have a reflective period at some point.
Yep.
And they are, and we starting to see it more and more on the internet, right? They hit. We talked about this a little bit last week. You hit 40, you do inventory, right? And then you start thinking about the decisions you make, right? I don't want a husband. I don't want any kids. But at some point that might change. Now, If it changes at 35, that's different than changing at 45. So you gotta, so that's why I look at it. So I think we argue too much a little bit. We complicate shit. You know, if one woman ain't for you as a man, then she's not for you. But you tripping out trying to change her, that's crazy. And we have too many men that way. And we have too many women.
I agree.
I think it's pretty important that you learn and understand that you can change. And that's the thing that I commend Clifton about, is that he, at his age or whenever, that he's acknowledging he has room to grow. And if we all can acknowledge that we have room to grow as long as we're living, we have the opportunity to possibly grow. Often we get to a point where we don't want to grow. We say, I want to be who I am. And you know, to each his own, and you can pick that person if you like. I have picked that person. I have been that person. But at this point in my life, no longer will I pick that, and no longer am I that. You know, I'm realizing that every day until I die, I want to be able to grow. And I want somebody who's willing to do it with me. And if you're not willing to do it with me, then I'm just really not that interested. And unfortunately, I'm running into, in our age group, with women who don't want to change, women who feel they're at that pinnacle. And I'm like, you know what? I commend you, salute to you. I just can't be with you.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to speak on this video?
It's more, or you're going to show more of the video, or is that it?
I mean, did they ever get to the question? I mean, all I heard was shouting and yelling.
That was it for that video. Of course, that particular discussion was clipped up a few times, but I just took that video, pretty much getting the point out of it of him realizing this at a young age, and he's being attacked for realizing this. And like you said, is nobody's fault other than the person who deals with the stage of life that person's in, right? And you have a choice to deal with it, and you have a choice not to deal with it. However, he has gone through it and is living to a place and to a point now where it's just like, wow, like I didn't even know, like y'all said, like anyone with a logical mind would know that this is a man who is in Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like he didn't have to face that. He had to act. He had to be a great actor. And with it being a great actor, you're always in a world that is other than reality, right? You have to immerse yourself into a false reality. And
with a whole bunch of people like that.
Right. And, you know, and I think more so on the grounded side, a lot of men, you know, do live this false reality. And y'all know my saying, be real with yourself so you can be real with others, right? That's the slogan here. You know, you live this false reality instead of being like Clifton and saying, you know what, it took me a while to get here. Like it really took me a while to get here. And it took, actually in another clip, he said it took a woman to help him get there. And maybe we'll go over next week. I saw a clip of another man talking about, you know, sometimes that helper instinct that God has put into women, because we're here to help. Sometimes that is that agitation to a man, and that's used lightly, not necessarily agitation, but that need and that want to help. Sometimes men should listen to, you know, what the woman is saying, because she does have his best interest at heart. So maybe we'll get into that next week. But that was his point, you know, in other clips. Like it took for a woman to come in who was at a higher thinking level or at a high psychological level, emotional level, for her to come in and really care and love on me, to make me realize that, you know, I've been treating people like crap, or I've been expecting people to deal with my crap, and it's time for me to actually deal with it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I said he's not qualified, right? Because
who's not qualified?
Clifton is not qualified, right? Because his story is no different from any other man at that table who may have lived that same life, just not in the public eye. That's why I say, because I think he has a good intention, but to be it, because they've all gone through something. That's why they're there, right? And you have to be able to sort of make it to where what I went through is not as important as anybody else's here. Now we may find out through sharing that we got some similarities, but the dude that was like that, he started talking about how women are victims. And then you got to look at, because when I work with people, I learn how to live. He said something very crucial. As a man, I ain't spoke to my father in 6 years. That says a lot to me. So how can you, so you know what I'm saying? Because you're still, if you're not speaking to your own father and you're a grown man, you think you're going to talk to other dudes any kind of way? And you got some other issues outside of being a man. It just says a lot to because I listened to that whole video. It's pretty long.
Very judgmental.
It just doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't. They needed a mediator. That's why I said they needed someone who can help them mine out each individual's story first. Let's tell our stories, and then we can come back and see where we can fix. And because most men are fixers, that's why they want to fix something. So let's get everybody's story, and nobody's is important. And we're not going to judge in telling the story. And then you can address me, Precious. Hey, you said something earlier about this. Could you explain that? Could you talk about, you know what I'm saying? So just.
Yeah, you got to know, there's dynamics there that make that kind of fleshing out things to that degree pretty difficult when you have that many people around the table.
15.
I just, listen, like I said, Clifton, when he found this lady he just decided to listen to her. And he decided to listen to her because he's in a reflective part of his life. And hey, maybe for once I'll listen to this honey, to the woman, because she is, where he might have rejected that same message when he was in his 50s and 40s and shit like that. So that's what, that's how that is. Like I said, I think we just complicate things so much because I don't know whether it's social media and the way people think we've changed so much. I think that if we look at the nature of men and the nature of women, I don't care what anybody says, our nature is undefeated, right? Men's nature has been pretty constant throughout the ages, even in social media era. Men like women, real men, and we do a lot for them. Women's nature has been the same, except that it's been unleashed. It's been unleashed. It's not that it's different. It's been the things that used to govern women are gone. Social mores, religion, all that kind of stuff, that's gone. The pill in the 60s, you think that women didn't want to get bust down before the pill? Yeah, but they couldn't because it was much more dangerous. So when the pill came out, so I'm just saying the nature of women are the same. It's just unleashed. And that unleashing has put changes throughout the world. It just has. And that's just the power of it. But the nature's there. And when men understand the nature of women, they have less problems.
What's interesting about what you're saying? I was speaking about nature earlier today, and we all have our natures, but it takes us to have restraint and discipline over those natures which makes us civilized.
Well, no.
That's what makes us civilized. Is when we do, and that civilization, is arguable, but that's what we all have. That nature. We all have natures that are not to the benefit of others. Our nature is self-preservation.
I didn't mean to make it negative, but you're making it negative. We all are subject to nature.
I'm not. What I'm saying is we all have nature, but we're not subjected to it. We choose what nature
yeah, but
to
we are
embrace.
subjected to it. We are subjected to our natures. It's whether we make a conscious decision to control it or not. We are not our part. We're not separate from our nature.
I'm confused because you're saying what I'm saying in a different way.
No. You said we weren't subjected. You said we weren't subject. I think we are. But I think the part I agree with you is that regardless of whether you're subject to it or not, you should control it. That's why when we had that conversation about women who don't understand that men don't want to have female friends in that nature, the platonic relationship kind of thing. It's not that men don't want to have platonic relationship, but if we ain't doing nothing, I'm not going to be up under any honey who's just cute in intimate circumstances and shit like that, why am I there? You know, the real truth is women extract what they need from men. They really do. And they don't have to be sexually, they don't need the sex, but they extract what they need from you, because if they didn't need that, you wouldn't be around. You would be invisible to them. So, and I could challenge you, Precious, and you don't have to say anything. If you name the 5 men that's closest to you, you could probably tell me, when I'm not talking sex either, you could probably tell me exactly what each one of them provides you that you get out of each one of them.
I don't.
I mean, I don't want to make it negative, but I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just like,
why they there.
I don't keep people in my circle so they can provide for me. I'm just not one of those women.
No. See, now you made it negative. I mean, you just have random. You don't have any random male orbiters.
No,
that's
for
good.
What? What is the reason? Like Cardi B said, like, what is the reason? Those women who just have men just around just because, like, or that are just showering me with gifts and
whatever. Well, not whatever. Showering you with whatever.
Because because I think that I'm not somebody that's going to just receive things from men, because men are there. You know, there are men who will give from their heart, but there are that most men want something.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, men and women both.
What you want?
Men and women both have manipulative ways,
And
and giving is part of the man's manipulation.
Right. I just don't have time to partake in that game with you. So, you know, it has to be something that, you know, is an exclusive type of thing. Like I just don't do that.
I appreciate the answer, because I'm putting my thesis together.
Yeah, like I don't see I just don't see the need for it. You know what I mean?
That's good. I think that's really good, because you understand that men at some point, if they're gonna seek reciprocation.
Yeah, like
whether they do it physically, but they're gonna be thinking about it.
Yeah,
that energy is gonna be in the air.
You keep forgetting that's why her name is Precious. Because she's a gem.
That's not why, but we can go there. No, I don't know.
That's good. That's good. I needed that.
I was raised different too, right? Like I was raised in a 2-parent home thanks to adoption. Like that was the wonderful thing about adoption in my case. While adoption was traumatic for me, it actually gave me different tools in life and different disciplines, and it makes me look at things differently because of how my parents raised me. And you know, that just wasn't, you know, I didn't see that growing up. You know, my mom was married to my dad. You know, I didn't see her have people in her life to do things for her because she was tired or she didn't want to, or it was a commitment, and that's what it was. You know, we got business here. This is our business here. You know, so I just don't live that life. I really don't.
No, I believe.
Plus, I'll be busy, child. Like you get in where you fit in. You know, like I just don't have this idle time to just, you know, provide. Like we would have to like really be onto something, doing something for me to give you my attention.
I'm with you.
All right, y'all. Well, we are at the end of the show. We're going to go for final thoughts, and then we're going to get up out of here. But before we do, thank you guys so much for watching. Whether you were here from the beginning, you stayed throughout the end, you are part of the replay gang, definitely subscribe to the channel, the Real Precious Network. On Tuesday night, we have the Adoptee Foster, and then on Wednesday nights we have the Men's Forum. Anyone is welcome to come up on the platform. I do link the live link in the comments, and so you're more than welcome. But I appreciate you guys participating, the engagement in the chat. I really do appreciate you. We're gonna go around with final words, and then we're gonna get up out of here. We'll start with you, 3 a.m. Thought
I
Club.
enjoyed the craziness, I guess. It was just I guess.
A good crazy.
Them videos was kind of wild, especially that lady. Like, I really hope she reflect back on that and actually go watch that video and like really take accountability for what she did, because her son is going to remember that for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
And her husband is now going to be worried about when she goes out every day, if she get out of jail, unless she does, So no, I had a good time. I enjoyed it. It's a different kind of content from last night. So yeah, good work, good job.
Thank you. We gotta know how to shift gears and pivot over here. We sports players. All right, Sean, your final thoughts, and thank you again, 3 a.m. for joining us. I really appreciate you. You don't have to, but you do. So thank you, Sean. Final thoughts.
Yeah, well, thank you for having us all. 3 a.m. Thank you for joining us in this environment, and your perspective is definitely embraced. So I thank you for it. As well, Payne, Precious, Ferg, I'm glad to see you guys. I miss you guys. Like I said, Frank, everybody who joined us. So thank you for being back. And to your point that you just made, I think we all need to be reflective on ourselves as well as with others, so that we can start getting some resolutions to some of the things that we're challenged with and that we're strained with as a community, as a race, depending on, or as a family, depending on which one you're involved in or where you have passion. And I think that when we start identifying our similarities, and a lot of people say you're not supposed to judge, but I think we are here to judge one another. And when we take on that responsibility to be able to reflect and judge with each other, and trust each other's judgment as opposed to defend the offense that we might feel, we might start getting places. So I hope these are steps towards getting there.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming up on the panel this evening. Coach Ferg, final thoughts?
Oh, listen, Precious, great show. Sean, I agree with you. I mean, I'm going to disagree because I'm here to shame the foolery in 2026 and beyond. I'm just here to shame, you know what I'm saying? I'm not here to judge people. We all go do stupid stuff. They talked about me when I was a kid. I'm going to talk about black folk. I love black folks so much. I'm going to talk about us till I leave this earth. And I do it out of love, man. And my man, listen, when I say the little slow kids, I retired work. I love young people, man. Dealing with these grown folk, I'm shaming your ass. If your mom and daddy didn't tell you, your big auntie, somebody, or you disrespected them and you do some dumb stuff, get your ass back in the car. Thank you, Mr. Officer. Baby, what you want to eat? I'm sorry to send you through that. Don't let nobody know what happened. I'm going to save this video for court, and I'm going to take you out of school, and we're going to get you some money for your new Jordans when we sue. You know what I'm saying? They might, but again, man, we got to be grown. Sean, I'll say this. When we start having these meetings with the police, tell them specifically, I need white officers to show up. Because every time we do it, we got our nephew cousin who's on the police force coming with some brothers, and they listening to our same story. So say we want some white officers, the white chief, to come and sit down with us. And when they come, show them that all those narratives that they throw at us ain't true. Show them with some dignity and hit them with our YouTube intellect. Because we all smart as hell on YouTube. So just use it in a tactful way, and we can get the results we need. And when they say show up in your neighborhood event, your neighborhood vote, take you and your slow 18-year-old son who ain't doing shit down to vote. Make him know that he's a part of the community. And he's part of the protection of the community. It's just unfortunate that 2026, we got 40, 50-year-old women trying to wrestle the police and then play victim on the end. I'll say it's not shut up. Me and my wife talk about these things. I'm going to bring this topic up. Listen, sit your old ass down. Get home. But again, it starts with protection. My man sleeping in the car, bruh, sit your family down, have a conversation, man, and have that real conversation and let everybody know. You putting yourself in danger outside. No telling what could happen. Somebody trying to catch a lick, catch you there, then you just so. But demand that peace, man. And I'm not saying leave your wife, man. But if you got to go to bed, knocking her down. When I say knock her down, I mean, making love in the sheets, knocking her down until she get an understanding of, hey, I need the things that I need to make sure our house is whole, because the house has to be whole. So, but put them dumbass kids to work. All teenagers must work. Everybody, they get off on weekends. Remember cartoons on Saturday?
That's right.
Everything else, your ass work. And when I cut the lights out at 9 o'clock, everybody cutting the damn lights out. Go in your room, get on your tablet, get on your phone, and talk to your dumbass friends who go, hey, you messed up out here. But hey, yes, it's the best sometimes. Everybody get the best results out of that. So
yeah, but she got really like you for the angry hunching. Okay?
No, she like.
I really like you.
Angry hunching is something.
Well, sit there and close your eyes and imagine something.
Anyway, Coach, when you said that, I just had a picture. Her with you had a list of demands on her back while you hunching.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
Every stroke is another one of these.
Oh man, y'all are hilarious.
I think I'm gonna have to
wild.
do that shit. It's funny, man. Listen, that's funny. Anyway,
Hey, Arpain, thank you so much.
We ain't talking about those trans zestiles.
Transvestites.
Well, anyway, listen. One of the things I guess I'm mellowing on these things. I look at this whole YouTube thing as like a macroscope.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm looking from the outside in, right? Because I've been married for so long, and every time people tell me I don't know anything because I'm so old, I said, well, I probably know more than you because I can observe objectively, and you're in the mix. And by being in the mix, you're interfering with the experiment, but I'm outside of it. So I'm looking in and seeing how stupid you are. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say it like that, but I'm just thinking, like, they say, well, you don't know nothing about dating, or you don't know nothing about women because you've been married that long. Well, you mean I slept with somebody for 38 years and I don't know nothing about women? I've been next to one for 38 years, longer than you, right? And and no matter how much I try, my wife never turned in a woman card. She's never turned it in. Ever since I do to now, she's been that. So anyway, I just think about it. I just think of how people are getting together and intermingling and stuff like that, men and women. Something that's supposed to be natural for us is so complicated now. It doesn't make any sense. You could tell it's programming. You could tell it's propaganda. It's all of these isms that are happening to us. And and a lot of people are being affected by it.
Yeah.
Being afraid of each other. Some women think that all men are dangerous. Some men think that all women are just not worth a dinner. Actually, when I dated, I could have a dating life because I could budget it. But I could see where men are coming from now, because a regular dating life costs you $1,000 a month if you're trying to pick a woman, because nothing's cheap. Well, hey, if a woman telling she ain't going to Cheesecake Factory,
I'll go. Let's go.
that's $200.
I want my.
You can drop 2 beans in the Cheesecake Factory pretty easy. But I'm just saying. But the guys are having their own problem. Women are having their own problem, and they need to figure it out. I'm a pro advocate for marriage. I'll end it here. But the way people look at marriage, I'd rather them not get married because they're messing up my statistics. If you can't stay married, don't get married. If you can't go through the vows and don't treat it like a Chinese menu a la carte and shit, this one is okay, that one is okay, but this one's a little shaky, don't get married. Don't. But that's what I'm saying. So I just end it there. I just think people are making life too complicated. And they're caught up in the mix. They're just caught up in the mix.
There's nothing wrong with Cheesecake Factory, okay? Because every time I go, I got to get my buffalo bites. Like,
I haven't been there in a while. I need to go.
What? My buffalo bites, my little bourbon, little drink, Good time for me. It's a good time for me, okay? I don't know what these women be talking about. We eat.
I know that was a good skit.
My belly is.
Hey, thanks for everybody. Hey, nice meeting you, 3 a.m.
Thank you, Arpina. I appreciate you. Thank you. Tonight went well. I appreciate you guys again. I can't say it enough. Those who have been watching, thank you so much. I think in all of the videos, there was room to not necessarily point the finger, but to have some accountability on both ends. You have a Black woman with her Black son in the car and during a routine traffic stop, and the woman was wrong, and so was the cop, right? You have a woman who is coming out checking on her husband who has been asleep in that car for an hour. And he tells her, I just want some rest, right? And so, now she's proceeding to get in the car after he said he just wants some rest, child. He didn't say he wanted to play pity pat. He said he wanted some rest. So both of them, like you guys said, the men have to be vocal in that manner of setting order for the home, just like the woman sets order with the children and schedules and being able to do things in a timely fashion, so the house is at a certain level at a certain time, and so those testosterone levels can rise for y'all, and a woman can completely understand that there's accountability on that needs to be assumed on both ends. And then the last video where there is a round table of men, and one man is giving his perspective, and then there's the younger generation that I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear all that. I don't talk to my daddy. I don't care where he been, but I know where I'm gonna go. Sometimes you do need to know the past so you can understand the future. I'm a huge advocate, and John knows this. 3 a.m. Thought Club knows that. We should know all about ourselves. We should be able to go back in the past and have those conversations and gather that knowledge, so we don't repeat certain things, because like I always say, the blood don't lie. What your mama got in her blood and with your auntie and your grandmother, that has traveled all the way up to you. And the same for men, that's traveled up to you. And when those generations don't break or change the trajectory of certain negative behaviors, they will naturally just come out of you, because that's where you come from. And so on both sides, there is accountability, and on the men's forum, I want to have that type of discussion. Where can there be accountability taken on both sides instead of just pointing the fingers? Women, we have to do better. Men, there's room for you guys to do better as well. None of us have arrived, right? None of us have arrived. There's always room to do better and to learn and to be better. No matter what the goal is in your life, even if you do want to stay single forever, you still got to be a good single person, like for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even always about the relationships. That's not always the end goal. Being a better human being should just always be your goal. Waking up in the morning, having that opportunity to live out that day. So I appreciate you guys. We're gonna get up out of here. Join us next Wednesday at 9 p.m. same time, same place. And if you are open to it, join us on Tuesday nights when we have the Adoptee Foster. Learn a little bit more about foster care and adoption. 3 a.m. Thought Club and I host that show. Again, anyone is welcome to come up, share your story, share your thoughts, engage in the conversation. So I really do appreciate you guys. Let me see if I'm missing something back here in the back chat. Okay.
Yeah, before you say your magic words, check out that link in there. I still play with the AI music. That's a video I put together. It's pretty good. The words are like very poignant, very poignant. So
you want me to play it on here, or do you just want?
No, I just gave it to you. I mean, anybody can just get it. If you wanted to, but we're ending the show. Remember next time.
Okay.
Check it out.
You can incorporate it somehow. I mean, look, you can advertise your music.
It don't have to be a show. I just wanted to give it to you guys. I'm just
let me know how I can help. Okay, all right. I'm gonna definitely check it out. And I actually had a question about that that I wanted to ask you, but we'll do that offline, because you had this one AI thing where it just looked like it literally, the woman is singing as if I think that's pretty cool. So I do want to kind of incorporate that some way somehow.
Yeah.
And
this is another one of those videos. This one is one of the best. It came out real nice because it's a song that I put out there like a year ago,
Mhm.
And then I got this AI tool that puts it to like a video, right? And you know, you have to tell it what it wants. I wanted to use this avatar as a woman. There's an AI woman, of course.
Mhm.
And then I says, well, here's the setting, here's the theme, here's all those kind of things. And it popped out that video. And this is my thing about us getting off the plantation, right? And I just think it's really good. I'm looking at it, I said, this is pretty good. It's not cheap, but it's pretty good. It's not that expensive either, but I think it's nice.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out. Well, thank you guys. Y'all know my saying. Be real with yourself so you can be real with everyone else. We will catch you guys next Wednesday. Happy middle of the week.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right. Take it easy, everyone.